you were born in Rio de Janeiro. You then, your family moved to Brasília. And tell me if I'm wrong, but your first love was motorbikes. So where did this obsession with Formula One come from?
Well, there's not an obsession with Formula One. It's achievement in life. You know, you set a goal that's high enough for you to say, okay, we can do this. It wasn't just Formula One. It was making a career without anything, without any preparation, without any study, just by going and do it. You know, what happened was back in 1971, my father moved to Brasília, which was a new town, and it was built for 500,000 people. There was only about 70,000 people when we got there. So the roads were built before the buildings. So there was no cross junctions and there was no traffic lights. So it was like a racetrack in itself, Brasília. So police would not chase us. We could do whatever we wanted. And I used to drive my father's car when I was 13. You know, my friend would take the keys, they had the license, and then he would give the car to me around the corner, and off we'd go racing around Brasília. Anyway, this shop, and then I bought a motorbike in this shop. Alex Ribeiro was the owner with 3 other friends. It was just a fun thing for them to do. I used to take the motorbike apart. And then sometimes I couldn't put it back together. So I used to go to the shop and say, well, can you help me? And then the motorbike mechanic would help me. And then I'll go the next day, he would help me again. And then he saw my interest. I was about 12 years old. He saw my interest, and I was just a very little guy. I'm a little now, but I grew up when I was 17 only. He used to tell me everything to the point that I took his job. And that guy was Nelson Piquet. And Nelson, we become like brothers, you know. He was 7 years older than me, but he used to take me under his arm everywhere. I remember one day he was coming out of this, the shop was called Camber. And in that shop, Alex Ribeiro came out of it, Nelson and myself. And almost Alex Ribeiro's brother got to Formula One. He could have got to if he continued. So from one shop in Brazil, 3 guys got to Formula One.
What an amazing story. Anyway, what an amazing story.
So that's how I basically followed Nelson. And I saw what he did. And Nelson was the guy that got me involved in technical stuff. He said, Roberto, for you to survive, you need to become technical because teams need you to set their car up, and then they can, you don't have sponsors, so they can probably pay for your ride. And that's how I did all the way through my career. If it wasn't my ability that Nelson helped me to get, he's setting up cars, I would not have got to Formula One.
Was Nelson like an older brother to you?
Yes, very much so.
And is he still that person today?
Yes, I see him that way. Very much so. When I needed him, I could pick up the phone and say, look, I'm in the shit. Can you get me out of this shit? I never had to. At the end, he never had to, but a couple of times I actually picked up the phone.
Yeah.